Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Unboxing the Trends. I'm your host, Tim Ranigan, and I'm happy to be here again today with Lori Boyer, your host of Unboxing Logistics, to talk about some trends that we had over the last month in shipping and logistics. Lori, how's it going?
I'm doing so good. I am excited for March. It's my birthday month.
Mine too.
That's right. We got birthdays next week. So, everyone, if you're on LinkedIn or you're watching here, send all the birthday wishes to us.
Yeah, yours is the 11th, right, Lori? Mine's March 13th. Fun fact, I was born on Friday the 13th, so I'm immune to all Friday the 13th effects.
Lucky, lucky. So, okay, great month, March. We are ready.
So, Lori, a lot happened over the last 30 days since we last met. We talked previously a little bit about tariffs, only to find out that they were shelved for 30 days. Over the last couple of days, the tariffs have been reinstated, right? So today on this episode, we wanted to get your thoughts on tariffs again. What do you think is going to happen down the road now that those have been reinstated? And we also wanted to talk about the USPS Postmaster General DeJoy stepping down. So let's start with tariffs. Lori, would love to get your thoughts on what you're seeing out there over the last 30 days and maybe some thoughts on what's to come.
Okay. Tariffs are, I think, going to be kind of the on again, off again. It's kind of like a bad relationship where you're like breaking up, not get back together, and it may be our story for 2025 for a little bit of time.
Right.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the tariffs were paused. They went back into effect this week on Tuesday. And already we're hearing some chatter that this is Thursday as we're recording. I know you guys are getting this Friday morning, but that some of those may be paused again this evening. If that happened, throw it into the chat. Let's talk about it. But I really think I was doing a lot of analysis around this. So for President Trump, the economy is a really big deal, right? I know that he keeps a really close eye on the stocks and the market and what's going on. And most experts believe that these are mostly bargaining techniques, that it's highly likely. I put it earlier this week, I put out a prediction, 60 to 70% chance is my probability that most of them will get paused or adjusted. Obviously, we're seeing a lot of things in specifics, whether it's auto or agriculture, where maybe there's going to be some exemptions. So that being said, short term, expect some disruptions.
Yeah.
Things will be ironed out. I've seen a few articles that we can expect some delays as well at the borders as some of these are kind of taking effect. And so definitely hedge your bets. I think right now is the perfect time for you to be running some scenarios and saying, okay, I do ship a lot from Canada or from China or from Mexico, or, President Trump's talking about the EU kind of being next on the list. So if that's somewhere that you're getting a lot of supplies from, or that you're shipping cross-border on any of those places, it will behoove you to do some of those risk management exercises, sit down with your team, be like, okay, if this stays, how are we going to make some adjustments? There are a lot of companies talking about adjustments as well. Potentially, if you do have options of moving to a different country, some of your supplies, your sourcing, that may be a good hedging your bet right now. But again, that being said, I think 60 to 70% chance that most of these tariffs settle down into kind of a much smaller. I don't think we're going to stay at 25%. I think that across the board, most of them eventually are going to kind of ease up. That being said, that does still leave that 30% chance that maybe they don't. So again, flexibility, agility, that's the name of the game when it comes to tariffs. Make sure that you're keeping an eye on what's going on, and do make sure that you are prepared for any potential delays,
Yeah.
and make sure you're getting your supplies in advance.
Yeah, I love those recommendations, and that's a lot of what we covered last month, right? Is there's still so much unknown surrounding all of these tariffs. It's best to just make sure that you have your supply chain networks in check, do a cost analysis. If there's going to be a slowdown, make sure you're looking at all of these potential pitfalls and making sure you have solutions in place in case all of these various scenarios do in fact come to pass. But great suggestions, Lori. Love those recommendations.
I want to say, Tim, as well, it's true. It's the question everybody's asking. When I was at Manifest recently, in every session I was at, those were some of the questions. What's happening with tariffs? What are we going to do?
Yeah,
Is this going to work? And the truth is nobody really knows for sure. I'm not
yeah.
even sure President Trump and his staff know for sure exactly what their plan is moving forward. So I think that, yeah, if I knew, I would be like probably way higher paid than I am. But all of us just hang in there and know that you're not alone in being uncertain about what's going on.
That's great. Well, let's go ahead and pivot, Lori, away from tariffs. Let's talk about the recent announcement that the USPS Postmaster General DeJoy has announced that he will be stepping down. What does that mean for the world of e-commerce? What does that mean for the big four carriers? Specifically, what do you think that means for USPS in general?
Yeah, that was a big topic that hit a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
He has been a very controversial figure. Some have loved his kind of bold changes he's worked to make. Others have been frustrated by kind of the slowdowns of, things getting out, the raising in prices. And so I see a lot of people who have been excited for the change, and some who are a little disappointed, of course. And you get a
sure.
controversial figure, and that's what you get. It's all going to depend. So a couple of things that I'm keeping an eye on, timeline. So I haven't seen anything that said the timeline. If any of you have more insider info on that, let us know. But I have not seen anything. I know that I'm speaking at the National Postal Forum at the end of April, and he is still on the docket to speak there. So that will be as well. So timeline, I'm not really sure on. A lot of questions, the new plans that have come out, our 10-year deal, is that still going to be going? What's going to happen with consolidation? It really is going to depend. There's been some murmurs that maybe the whole department will get moved under the Department of Commerce. So it'll be really, really interesting, I think, to see. And this is one area that is going to be just something that I really recommend that you kind of keep an eye on. And who is the person? What kind of background do they have? What kind of goals do we think they're setting? Is this, we brought in DeJoy as our first not career postal worker. And
Right.
it didn't necessarily go as well. He came from a logistics background, but will we have another kind of commerce kind of logistics background person? Will we go more of a traditional route? Those are questions that I have. I would love to see, are we going to get more adjustments to the service levels and plans that are out there? I think it's just something that is fun and exciting to keep an eye on, and is going to have some big impacts. I think, but again, it's kind of a wait and see, and I haven't had any whispers yet. Maybe it's you, Tim. Are you going to be the new Postmaster General?
Oh yeah, secret's out.
Secret's
It's gonna
out.
be me.
Okay. Okay. Well, if it's Tim Brannigan, then, everything is going to be running so smooth. But unfortunately, this
Yeah,
is kind of an episode of let's wait and see. It's sort of
it
straight out of
is.
Washington, D.C. for this episode is everything going on. And that's is just what it is. To me, I kind of like change, and it's exciting to me when you never know what's going to happen. So I'm an optimist. I think that things are going to settle in. I think that we'll have some bumpy spots though. So risk management across everything is always important, and keep your ear to the floor. That's my recommendation for the next month, and we'll see what March brings besides our birthdays.
Right. And I would add, I think the theme of this episode is let's wait and see. right? That's true of the tariffs. That's true of the Postmaster General news. Let's just wait and see how, how the dust settles, so to speak. And this goes out to our listeners. If you have any insights, right? We all operate in the world of shipping, logistics, and e-commerce. If you have any insights into or thoughts on how these two topics may affect, shipping and logistics on the whole or e-commerce, feel free to let us know. Put some comments into the chat, get involved, and we would love to hear your thoughts and actually share your thoughts on next month's episode. Until next time, we will talk to you then.